I thank Security Network Munich for giving me the opportunity to make a presentation of this wonderful event. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kazutaka Nakamizo from NISC, Cybersecurity Center from the Japanese government. And today, cyberspace is an essential infrastructure for all activities. And it gets more and more necessary to secure free, fair, safe, and resilient cyberspace than ever. And however, the threats of the cyber attacks are rapidly increasing. And Japan, located in East Asia with a complex geopolitical background, is no exception. And especially this year, the Taiwanese presidential election was held in January, and here in Germany, European Parliament election will be held in June, and US presidential election will be held in November. So to ensure security of the democratic process is an urgent issue around the world. But it's extremely difficult for one country alone to ensure cyber security. So ladies and gentlemen, as many speakers mentioned about Volto Typhoon yesterday, recently critical infrastructure has been more and more targeted by sophisticated actors. And for example, a China-backed actor called BlackTech intruded into the network of the telecommunications carriers and internet providers or other critical infrastructures in Japan and the US. So in September last year, NISC and the National Police Agency, together with the US counterparts, namely CISA, FBI, and NSA, issued joint Japan-US bilateral cybersecurity advisory with regard to BlackTech. And next, with regard to the ransomware attack in Japan, the number of incidents reported to the police increased significantly from 150 cases in 2021 to 230 cases in 2022, and continuing the trend in 2023. However, this doesn't cover all the cases, but just the tips of the iceberg. And in July last year, the central management system of Nagoya Port, Japan's largest port used by Toyota for exports, were infected with ransomware and disrupted for 3 days. And in response to this case, a bill that included the addition of port sector to the critical infrastructures or essential infrastructure is submitted to the current parliament session. And it was confirmed that several groups linked to North Korea stole assets by targeting cryptocurrency exchange and service providers in Japan to finance nuclear development program. And in response, we added these groups to the sanctions list based on UN Security Council resolutions. Besides, we have observed highly sophisticated phishing attacks targeting academic institutions, think tanks, universities by use of a malware called LoadInfo, which was customized only for targeting Japan. And according to a report by the security company, the upper house election in 2022 was also the target of this campaign. And we have also observed some DDoS attacks targeting government agencies and critical infrastructures. And some of them were suspected to be carried out by Russian-based activists. Others were by the groups related to the current situation in the Middle East. And last year, we observed the DDoS attack related to the G7 Hiroshima Summit meeting, and also the safe release of ALPS treated water from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. But in all those cases, we responded to them in a timely manner, so no major damages were inflicted. And ladies and gentlemen, we revised the national security strategy in December 2022, which is that Japan is to strengthen or improve capability drastically in the field of cyber and to prioritize cyber security. And in January last year, we started to consider new legislation to introduce the following proactive measures. That is, firstly, to strengthen public-private partnerships such as information sharing. Secondly, to be shared metadata from telecom carriers and the ISPs to detect malicious communications. And thirdly, to give the government the authority to penetrate and neutralize the attacker's infrastructure. And in order to realize these measures, NISC, my organization, will be upgraded. But even before new legislation will be submitted to the parliament, we do effort to strengthen our posture. For example, NISC doubles the number of the staffs and budget this year, actually more than doubled. And NISC also will introduce dynamic vulnerability management, which to enhance cybersecurity of government agencies, such as attack surface management, red team testing, and protective DNS. And ladies and gentlemen, Japan will further strengthen the cooperation with like-minded countries. Under the leadership of the United States, Joint Product Principles and Approaches of Secure by Design and Default was released in October last year. And Japan, NISC, together with 13 countries and regions, decided to co-seal it. And Japan attaches the great importance on implementation of the Secure by Design principles and started dialogue with private sectors, including Japan's Business Federation, or Keidanren. And I'm very proud of being here in Munich with, together with Mr. Wada, Keidanren's chair of the working group at the Cybersecurity Committee. And international cooperation and public-private partnership are also the keys for security of emerging technologies such as AI, and using AI for cybersecurity. As the 2023 G7 presidency, Japan led the AI Hiroshima process. And Japan also co-signed the guidelines for secure AI systems development, led by the UK and the US in November last year, and also the documents on secure use of AI, led by Australia in January this year. Multilateral cooperation continues to play an important role for Japan, such as the Quad Senior Cyber Groups and the Counter-Ransomware Initiative, in which the NSA, Ms. Ann Newberger, is taking a great leadership, and Japan's ASEAN cooperation, and capacity building in the Global South. And in conclusion, Japan is determined to further contribute to a free, fair, safe, and resilient cyberspace in the Indo-Pacific region and beyond. Thank you for kind attention.